Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is Warren. Thought we'd do something fun today. Maybe post a little video of a nice little late summer, early fall soup that we're going to make today. It's basically roasted red and yellow peppers, some onions, some zucchini, chicken broth, but I'm going to give you options on how to make it vegan. This soup is also gluten-free. We're gonna actually use corn, fresh corn that we actually took off the cob about a month ago when corn was in season, and then we just bagged it in freezer bags and froze it. So we're actually going to help use that to thicken our soup. So gluten-free. I'm going to use chicken broth today because I like chicken, and I had some extra stuff that I cooked from some chicken breast we poached off the other day. So I'm going to use that chicken broth up as well. And then after this video, I'll make sure I post all the ingredients online, but we thought we'd just try something different today and give it a shot, okay? So what we're going to use, we have some roasted red and yellow peppers. These came out of the garden. Well, I'm sorry, the yellow peppers came out of the garden. I wanted to beef it up because I didn't have enough, so I just bought our can of fire-roasted red peppers, and these are the peppers that we use. They're just like those little sweet baby bell peppers you can buy in a bag, but these are a little more gnarly looking because, you know, we don't use pesticides on our stuff or anything else what we grow here. So that's what we got. Some olive oil, right? Just some salt and pepper, little zucchini, some onion, some garlic, some fresh thyme, okay? And then just gonna chop a little bit of a few things here, and then we're gonna head over to the stove, get it cooking, and then we'll make sure we show you the finished product. And my son filming today, Alex, he's doing the filming. He's going to do all the editing for me, and then when it's done, we're going to get it all posted on Warren's Foodie page on Facebook. But check him out. He's at Sir Snivy779 on YouTube. He's been posting some videos, so make sure you check him out and hit like on his page for me. All right? Thanks. All right, cut.
All right.
All right, everybody, we're ready to go here. I'm going to start chopping our onions, our zucchini, a little bit of fresh thyme, then we're going to hack up our peppers. They don't have to be perfect, because we're going to puree this soup in a blender, so you don't have to worry about being all fancy with your cuts, and you don't have to go as fast as I do. That's perfectly fine. You know, when we talk about ingredients, you know, buy the best stuff you can buy. Or what I should say, even better yet, buy the best stuff you can afford. You know, I don't tell anybody how to spend their money. It's your money. But, you know, just buy the best ingredients. That's how you're going to get great food. You have to have really good products. Okay? Yeah, we're going to have good techniques. But if you don't have good products to start with, your food's not going to be as good, okay? So here we go. We're just going to cut some onions here real fast. You know, obviously, you don't have to be as fast as I am. You know, I've been doing this 25 years, so kind of makes it a little bit easy. And you see, I'm not getting crazy. I don't have to cut, you know, really, really fast. I don't have to be perfect in my cuts for this soup. You know, if we were just going to leave everything whole, you want to be a little bit neater because you want your stuff to be about the same size. And in this soup, we look at, you know, like I mentioned before, you can make this vegan. You can leave the chicken broth out. You can just use vegetable broth. If you don't have vegetable broth, you can make some. Carrots, onions, celery, some of that. If you don't have that, just use water. Perfectly fine, but you're going to have to use a lot more salt and seasoning to make your stuff taste really, really good, okay? Then we just got some garlic cloves here. You know, if you can, use fresh garlic. And all I'm doing here is I'm smacking it with the flat blade of a knife, and then you see it pops right out. All right? Very simple. Going just like that. And one more. I like garlic. If you don't like garlic, leave it out. But whatever you do, please don't buy that jarred garlic and water. It's really no good. It's going to taste stronger than what most people are used to. Sorry, give me a sec here. There we go. And we're just going to hack this up. Because remember, we're just going to puree this. You don't have to get crazy with it. And that's just going to go in right here. Okay? Perfect. Now, I'm going to go right into our zucchini. Like I said, you don't have to be perfect. Just cut it into some chunks because we're going to puree this soup anyway. And what's nice about this, if you're gluten-free, you know, vegan, everything else, vegetarian, the vegetables themselves are what's going to thicken your soup for you when you puree it. Just the vegetables. So that's what's nice about this. A lot of times too, especially in restaurants, I've done it. If I'm looking to be, gluten-free, is I'll use just peeled russet potatoes in my soup, cook down and puree, and that helps thicken your soup for you. All right, so you see very, very simple stuff here. Nothing crazy, but we're going to have fun today. Thank you to my son Alex for filming today. He's doing a great job, really helping me out big time here.
I kind of need to stop for a second.
Right, go ahead and cut. All right, everybody, here we go. We're gonna get cooking right now, okay? Thanks again, Alex. He got a new video camera for his birthday. He just turned 12, so that's why we're doing this too, to kind of help him out a little bit. So I just got a standard pot. If you don't have a Dutch oven like this one, a ceramic pot, that's fine. Just use a regular pot. It's whatever you have. That's perfectly fine. I like these because they hold heat for a long time, and it tends to make food, I don't know, just tastes better in my opinion. All right, here we go. So just some extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have extra virgin olive oil, that's okay. Don't need to worry about that. Just use olive oil. If you don't have olive oil, use canola oil. That's fine too. Whatever you want. I know a lot of people are into coconut oil. Don't know if I'd use that right now, but you could if that's what you have. So what we're going to do, we're getting our pot hot. You want to make sure that it's sizzling, okay? You don't want it smoking, all right? Smoking olive oil is going to get really bitter and rancid. So right here, basically I have 2 medium onions that I just diced up and hacked up, and 4 cloves of garlic. All right, so here we're going to go right in the pot.
Ow! All right.
Oh, Alex got burnt. He's all right.
Yeah, I'm okay.
There you go. All right.
I'm all right, everybody.
Here we go. So here we go. We're just going to saute these. And you want to cook these until the onions become translucent. I don't know if you can hear that sizzle. Folks, that's called cooking right there.
Yep.
That's what you want to hear.
Yep.
Don't put your vegetables in a cold pot. You want to saute them, okay?
Yep, folks, that's the sizzling you want right there.
Yep. Keep stirring. Alright, so here we go. Alright? We're just going to let those saute just for a minute here. Keep stirring. Now is when you want to start layering flavors. I just have some kosher salt. I cook with kosher salt all the time. That's really what I prefer. Just a good pinch. But if you don't have kosher salt, go ahead and use iodized salt. Really, in my opinion, the only thing iodized salt's good for is for baking. Alright, guys, now our onions are starting to become translucent now. They're starting to become clear. That's about it. So basically what we're going to do from that is I'm going to add a little bit of more pepper. And I am going to correct, this is actually sea salt, but either kosher or sea salt works perfectly fine. They're very interchangeable. So here we go. We're just going to add our zucchini now, right in there. Meanwhile, our heat's still going. We're sauteing the zucchini. And right now, after that, you can add the rest of your stuff. So you're going to look at, these are about the equivalent of 2 large roasted yellow peppers and 2 large roasted red peppers. If you have all red, that's fine. It'll work out just fine. If you have all yellow, that works great too. Okay, so we're going to put all those in there. Like I said, don't worry about seeds and all that. Not going to hurt. Now, when you roast peppers, if you roast them yourself, the biggest thing is you're not going to get every seed, but don't rinse them. Just after you cook them on a grill until they char on all sides, okay? Then you put them in a bowl, cover them with plastic wrap, and let them cool to room temperature. After that, you could just peel them, take off as many seeds as you can, and then go from there. But don't rinse them on. All right, guys, so we got our zucchini in there now. It's starting to saute down, still simmer away, and you'll see this is just corn. Like I said, we cut it right off the cob. Very simple. We put it in a bag. So we're going to dump that in there too. Right here, you're looking at about a cup and a half of corn. Should work out just fine. We're going to stir that in. You're just going to stir that in. Then, with each addition of the veggies, we're going to add some salt. So we're just going to add some salt, just a pinch of salt. and pepper. And you know, when you season things, you want to season it before you cook it, during cooking, and then after, because things change. It's not going to be salty, trust me. But just be light. You can always add more, but you can't take it out. That makes it very, very difficult. Alright, so we got that in there. I know what I have here. I got 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped thyme. We grow it here. If you want to use dry, that's perfectly fine. So just throw that in the pot. Do that. Some nice fresh ground pepper in there. And you can see so far, this is vegetarian. Olive oil. It's vegan. It's gluten-free. I'm going to use chicken stock. Like I said, if you want, use vegetable broth. You can buy it at any store. Already comes made. I like to make my own. You don't have to. Sometimes if I don't have time, I buy stuff and I keep it in the pantry. It's good to go. So, basically, right here, this is 1 quart chicken stock. Let's stir that in. Right here. And, you know, I like to mix enough soup to make it worthwhile for all the effort. So we got 2 quarts of chicken broth. Alright folks, so that's it. Very simple. We're going to bring this up to a simmer. We're going to put a lid on it, let it cook for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to go from there. Let it cook, and then we're going to let it cool down. We're going to puree it in a blender, season it up, and then you got your soup. And like I said, we make enough to make it worthwhile. We'll eat it for a day or two, and if we don't eat it, we'll put in freezer boxes, throw it right in the freezer, put a date on it, what it is, then you got something for a rainy day. So we're going to let that simmer, and we'll see you back here in 30 minutes. Thanks. All right, everybody, it's been about 30 minutes. You can see the soup's, everything's starting to get nice and soft in there. At this point, you got soup. If you want to leave it like this, nice and chunky, that's great. Go ahead. You don't have to puree it. I like to. Just different that way, I guess. But you have soup right now. But you always want to taste what you're doing. So be careful. This is obviously going to be hot, right? So that's got great flavor. I think it needs a pinch more salt. So we're going to pinch more salt. A little more pepper. There we go. That's it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool slightly, and then we're going to puree it. When you're pureeing hot soups like this, you want to let them cool slightly so you don't have it explode all over your ceiling. I'm going to give you some tips on using a blender when you are going to puree hot things like this. But always, if you're unsure, let it cool all the way. I don't want anybody to get hurt or burned. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I have an understanding of how my equipment works and what's going to happen. If not, believe me, I've had young cooks come into my kitchens and do things, and then puree hot soups and liquids and have it all over the ceiling, and that's no fun either, because you can get seriously hurt. So be careful. So we're gonna let this. I'm gonna let this cool about 15 minutes. All right, because I don't like to get burned either. And then we're gonna get to the blender, get that out. And we're gonna start pureeing our soup, and then we're gonna get our finished product in a bowl, and we'll show you everything how it goes, and we're gonna eat it up. Thanks a lot. All right, everybody, we're back. It's been about 15 minutes. Actually, it's been less than that, but we're gonna go ahead and do this anyway because, like I said, I kind of know what's going on. But let's hope that we don't end up with soup on the ceiling here. So what we're doing, I just got your standard blender here. If you have a Vitamix, even better. We're just going to ladle this hot soup right in here. Now, whatever you do, do not go over halfway in your blender. Okay, you see I'm just doing a little bit of scoops here and there. There we go. That's good there. Right on top. The most important thing is that when you're pureeing hot liquids is to make sure you have a vent right here. See this vent? Make sure you have a vent. I always, just in case, take a towel, double it over, triple it over, right over top. And then you have most blenders have a pulse feature. This one does. So we just pulse real quick here. Go real fast. before, if you don't want to puree that soup, don't. It's perfectly fine. If you want to puree half of it, which is actually probably what I'm going to do, you can. You can see it's all pureed, but see how much thicker it is now? Here, we'll get that. See the thickness? So that's where I'm saying it's gluten-free. There's no flour, there's no other starches, just natural corn, the vegetables themselves. Doing it that way as opposed to this. Now, you just take that, dump it right in here. That's what I'm going to do because we like chunks. I like pureed soups, especially in more of a high fine dining kind of establishment. But this works fine too. So here we go. Right back in. Stir it up. Now you still have chunks. You see the soup has more body. And we're ready to go. So there you go. We got basically our late summer, early fall vegetable soup. This has chicken broth in it, but like I said, if you want to put vegetable broth in there, great. If you don't have vegetable broth, just use water. Just make sure you season it. Salt, pepper, boom, that's all you need. You want more herbs? Add more herbs. Rosemary would be great in here. Basil would be outstanding in here at the end. So there you go. Have a great day, and we'll see you again. Bon appetit.